Miss Million, and I have had the best day at Northumberland Zoo today with Leading Link. I have walked around, I have oohed and I have ahed at every animal. Even the hissing cockroaches were very, very appealing. Now, I love the donkeys, I love the rabbit, I loved all of the animals here today. We're going to be looking at spring. Now, spring is full of blossom, daffodils, bumblebees. The world is coming to life. So I'm going to show you guys how to draw with a certain shape, and we're going to start with a very eggy reptile. So grab your pencils and join me in my first draw along. We're going to draw Bertie, and he was a really gorgeous big tortoise. So instead of drawing him that way, I'm going to draw him this way. And I'm going to start with his head, looking a bit like an egg shape. Okay, now I do love eggs, and some people don't like eggs. I like chocolate eggs, they're my favourite kind of eggs. So can you see, I've got my crayon, and I'm just putting a little bit of detail on. Now these are not sea creatures, these are land reptiles. He wouldn't be laying the eggs, but if it was a lady one, she would be. Okay, so I'm going to put all the detail on with a bit of colour. I'm going to work out where his eye is. So you can see I'm just putting a really quick sort of face on there. Okay, so I'm going to get my pen. I'm going to start with the eye. Now, when I was at university learning how to be an illustrator, we had to come to lovely zoos like this one. We had to sit and draw real live animals. And it was so tricky because they kept moving. But the good thing about Rocky the tortoise here is he was so slow moving, I could get all the details of his body. Now, he had lots and lots of very, very prickly little scales that looked like sort of big toenails, very unusual, but they're fascinating animals to watch. And he was eating some shredded cabbage and shredded carrot, and I couldn't tell where his scales started and where his toenails started. So he's got a little underbelly here, like that. He looks quite cute. Okay, so we'll put his little tiny nostril on. Then if I was at home, I would rub all this out. I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to start putting a bit of shadow on. Put a bit of shadow here. And when you go to university to draw, you learn where the shadow and the light is coming from. Now, he was in his little enclosure with all of his little friends, and it was very, very light and dark in there. So what I'm going to do is work out where his sort of patterns were, because he had some very, very interesting patterns, and all of them are different, all the shells are different depending on what breed he is. Okay, and I'm going to just come around here. So if I was drawing a turtle, it would be very different. So turtles have got a totally different shape. They've got flippers as well, and their shells are very sort of flat. This is very, very sort of rocky, hard wearing. Okay, so if I wanted to draw him eating his dinner, he would have his little bowl here with all of his lovely stuff in. And if he was hungry, I saw his little tongue poking out. He had a little tongue like that. Now, I'm not going to put a lot of colour on, but you know me, guys, if you've seen me draw before, I always put a little rosy cheek on like that. Okay, so there is our first tortoise. Okay. What was he called again? Can you remember what he was called? 30. Well, there's our first tortoise. So I'm going to do, a big rounded square. Now this is also similar. You could do the tortoise with that one, but I'm going to do another one down here. And this could be done with this square, but look, I'm doing it with what looks like a sort of cup, doesn't it? Or a upside down taco. Now, I'm going to do a bull for this one, or a cow. It's got lovely big horns. And the bull that we've just seen was so sweet. He was big, friendly giant. He was beautiful. And I've got a little baked bean in here. And I love drawing with baked beans. And he's going to be really happy. Okay, and then I'm going to give him little eyes this time. Even though he did have quite big boggly eyes, I'm going to do two little circles like that. Now if you're thinking, you're going a bit fast, I've got lots of sheep with lovely spring animals on. Now he was very hairy and he had lots of curly bits on his hair like that. He was so cute. Now, I haven't got a lot of space here because obviously I want to do another character down here. So I'm just going to put another sort of squarey bit here, and I'm just going to work out where his legs are. As you can see, I'm just sketching out here, and I don't think I've really drawn a bull for ages. I know I've done a storybook with one, but he was very cartoony. He's got little hooves like that. Oh, I think we're going to draw it outside in the lovely fields here that we have in Northumberland. So I'm going to put my shadow on, and I'm going to get my grungy gingery crayon. Now I'm just using these crayons that I do on my big board. And when I do do my books, some of my books over there, you can see I use watercolours and gouache paints and inks and marker pens. When I draw like this really, really big, because I don't want to run out my really expensive marker pens, I just put my crayon on its side, and you can see how fast that is. Now I love cows, they're one of my favourite animals, and they're so big and clumsy and gorgeous. Maybe that's why, because I am really clumsy as well, I fall over everything, so maybe that's why I like cows. And I do love, I'm going to draw a goat there in a minute, I love goats because they're so naughty, and if anyone knows me, you will know that that is definitely my favourite animal. Now can you see I'm putting my little pink rosy cheek on there, and look, I've gone over that, so what I'm going to do is go back over that now. Okay, so if you want to do a girl, you can put little eyelashes on. I think I quite like it like that. Now, I should have drawn maybe that over here, but it's fine. So we've got our little goats. I'm going to do the goats' horns on top of the head, and the goats here at Northumberland Zoo were so cute and very, very cheeky and very inquisitive, which means they're interested, they like to learn just like we do. So they like to look at who's coming to see them, and if they've got them food, or what they can do and what they can see. So they're very, very interesting and interested animals, and they were so sweet. And this time they were going to do a girl, and there was lots of different goats with lots of funny names as well. So maybe if you wanted to do your own picture of a goat, you could pick one of your favourites from the video and maybe have a go. So again, I'm going to get my rosy cheek on here, and there were lots of different colours, so I might just stick to my beigey colour, because one of the favourites was a beigey coloured one. She was gorgeous. There we go. It's very cute, but we need to draw a little body on now. They've got very strange knobbly knees. So I'm going to come down here with a neck. I'm going to make sure I've got enough room here for those legs. So I'm going to come around here, because sometimes when I'm drawing at an angle, I get their legs a little bit wonky. Now we've got little furry bodies. Here. Like that. And again, if I've gone too fast, you can always pause the video and have a little go. Now they've sometimes got little chubby bellies. Probably worms. You've probably had worms when you were younger. I always had worms. And we've got a tail. Now, if we were being horrible, which I know a lot of you are, and we saw lots of we before, but look, this is what their poos look like. Beep, beep, beep. Like little poppets popping out of his bum. Now, I'm also going to put a little bit of colour on the front bit. Like this. So this is not my best colouring, guys, if you're thinking that I'm scribbling. I'm going to leave a band of white, and then I will go around this as well. So we've got our dark crayon, put a bit of shadow on here, a little bit of shadow under there, and this back leg will be covered by the body as well. Put some shadow here, and they're in the same sort of field, or they might have a separate enclosure. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is think about my space. I've got a nice space here. We can put a speech bubble with we could go bang. Actually, they don't go bar, they go. I love that. It's a very good impression. Now, I've been going around the zoo today doing all different impressions, and I was trying to get the raccoons to look at me, and they wouldn't before. But they soon looked at me when I had the peanuts. But I did my monkey noise. Do you want to hear my monkey noise? I don't even know if that is a monkey. I don't know. Maybe Maxine could tell me what that was. But it was the one noise that my brother used to do that I couldn't copy. And then I copied it because he was sick of me copying it. There we go. So this one's going to be against a sort of fence. So very, very quick. We're going to also do a lovely daffodil here. So I've got my orangey yellow and a yellow. I'm just going to do a little outline. Now that daffodil wouldn't last 2 minutes next to that goat, I can tell you that much. Okay, and then I'm going to put my yellow. Now this is my favourite flower next to my favourite animal of all time. Daffodils are just beautiful. And you know, with spring, it just lifts your spirits, doesn't it? It makes you feel a lot better about everything. And then I'm just going to get my green. That's not a very exciting green, but it's okay. And I brought loads of different crayons today. I thought, oh, I could maybe put some colour on a tortoise or something. So I brought lots of those greens. I've also got quite a nice sort of grassy green here. So there we go. So you can see I'm just putting a bit of green around here, and that makes it look a bit more spring-like, doesn't it? So spring is still a bit chilly. It's a little bit warmer, then it gets sunny, then it hails, and it actually snowed before on my birthday. So it's always a difference of weathers. Okay, so there's our little characters. How did you do with those? They were quite tricky to do, weren't they? We've done our tortoise, we've done our cow or bull, we've done a goat, and now we're going to do a little sheep, because they are very, very spring-like, but we're not going to do a normal sheep, we're going to put clothes on it and make it do something else. And also, I think we need a rabbit, don't we, for spring? So, first things first, I'm going to do this weird shape here. And if you recognise that from the ball, it's just turned around a bit. Okay, so we're going to do a little sheep. Now, I love drawing goats. Sheep always go a little bit wrong for me. And we met a lovely sheep before called Larry. I called it Barry because it looked like a Barry, but actually it's a girl. And she's going to put a cap on her. So this is the difference between doing realistic animals and children's book characters. So children's book characters normally have clothes on. Okay, so we've got a little furry black face around here. And you can see I'm not pressing on. If I was pressing on quite hard, you wouldn't be able to see his features. Okay, so this is just with my crayon, that with a bit of ear here, and you guessed it, I'm going to put my little rosy cheek and a bit of pink on the nose. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to work out his little skinny neck. I'm going to work out his body. Because I want him to have those bouncy, springy shoes on. So, I'm going to put his arm going up here, which isn't really an arm. And he's going to have another arm going up here. So this looks like he is jumping for joy. Now, I'm not going to put clothes on him because I quite like the curliness of his sheepy body. Okay, and it's like if I did a tortoise, I really wouldn't want to be putting a jumper on him because he might look a bit like a hunchback. So my little sheep here is jumping for joy. And he's got little knobbly knees. And then I'm going to draw a big boot. So if I wanted that leg again, let me show you what I would do. Illustrators, just like you, we find it hard to draw the same leg again. So have a little look. What I would do is I would scribble on the back with my pencil, then I would pop it here and draw around it. Or you could trace it. Now if I show you this here, this is a top tip for you. So we've got exactly the same leg. Can you see through there? This is very, very thin paper. So we've got springs, boing, springing into spring. Now they've got funny tails. They've got like little tails like that. Okay, so I'm not going to put much detail on our little lamb or sheep. He does look like a lamb because he looks young, doesn't he, because of this cap. If he had a bow tie on, he'd look rather splendid, but he's actually just got a little cap on. And because it's very black and white, it's not a very exciting picture. You're going to get very spring-like colours. So look, I've got my lovely custardy, earwaxy yellow. Nice. Very, very daffodilly. And I might put one on here. And, oh, I've got my nice green as well. So that's very spring-like colours as well. So there he is. He's looking quite cute. Now, before we go on to my last picture here, I'm going to show you how to give him different feelings. So I've got my spare paper. Now, if he was a little bit worried, he's like, whoa. If he's going too fast, now that would look like a sheep if he got into the snow leopard enclosure, wouldn't it? He'd be like, oh. If he was thinking, ooh, that lady's got a bag of apples. If it was a lady sheep, which sheepy or lammy was, there we go. We could also make him go, so your character could have different feelings. Also, eyes. Have a little look. If my character was springing over the wall and getting into the cafe here at Northumberland Zoo, his eyes would be like, come on lads. If he was just a little bit sneaky, he'd be like that. Yes, so he looks like he's stolen those springy boots. You could also do little dots for eyes. They're very cute. I do like dots for eyes. You could also do big, cartoony eyes. You could do sleepy eyes. You could do glamorous eyes. Hello, my name's Barbara. There we go. So your eyes really matter. Now he looks like he's showing off. He doesn't look like where he looks like he's going. So there we have boing. So he's springing, he's leaping, he's got movement there. Now down here, you know me, I do like a crisis. We're going to have a little bunny here, and he's going to be going, ah! He's about to land on him, so he's not looking where he's going. If I could draw that again, I would draw him looking up at the bee or a beautiful bird, but he's not. So this rabbit is going to be going, ah! So we've got a little nose. He's going, now this shape looks a bit like a peanut. There we go. Now if you want to do a lady rabbit, you can put eyelashes on. Oh my goodness me. So I'm going to go around here. We've got a lovely rabbit here at Northumberland Zoo. But our little rabbit, look, he's got ears on top of his head, or her head. Got my pink. We put a bit of pink in there. Look, my crayons are getting very small, aren't they? And I've got some rosy cheeks. And I always put a bit of pink in there as well. Now your rabbit doesn't have to be ginger or black or grey or white. It can be blue or any colour if you like. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little body on here. Little arms. We're not going to worry too much about putting hands on. And I'm going to do some back legs. Now I know they've got big back legs, but we're going to try and make it easy, cartoony. So, oh no, it looks like he's oh, that would hurt, having a sheep landing on your toe. And if you want to put a little bow there, you can do. I think I'm going to do a little bow tie. And do you know what? We could make it, maybe they work at the cafe here, look. Oh no! So we've got, oh no, look, this hot latte, coffee going everywhere. Drop in some, ooh, lovely muffins with eggs on, little chocolate eggs. Oh no! And we wanted to make him look naughty, look what we do. Oh, now sheep and goats are very naughty. Now if you wanted to draw that again, you could give it a goat's body, and you could always just put goat horns on. So look how similar that shape is. Okay, so there we have it. Oh So look, we're already starting to write the story, aren't we? We've thought about the character, we've thought about what's going on. I didn't know I was going to draw that, I've just made it up. And this is where my best ideas come from. Okay, so put your names on your pictures and there, have a little look. Did you do better than you thought you were going to do? Now, I think we've done quite well here. We've got a bit of space here, so we could also maybe write Northumberland Zoo Cafe. We could have people going in the background. Okay, so I reckon you did really well there. I know we did that super fast, but you know what? I've got some lovely sheets for you. I've got a lovely spring sheet, I've got potato sheets, and they're all going to be available for you. So girls and boys, mums and dads, grannies, granddads, I hope you've had a really good draw along today, and I would love you to come to Northumberland Zoo. It is fantastic, so bring your sketchbooks like I did, and you can have a little draw as you walk around. Okay guys, see you later, thank you, bye! We would just like to say a big thank you to Maxine and her wonderful team, who between them have been managing to keep our zoo going. Now, we've had a wonderful day. We have seen a lot behind the scenes. There's some fantastic new things to look out for. So the best news is the zoo is going to be reopening after lockdown on April the 12th. So if you want to come down to the zoo to see what has been going on, then please look on the website and come along and support your local zoo. Okay, so thank you so much everyone. Bye.